Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
We are continuing our 49ers roster countdown with number 63. This guy's been around for a while. The 49ers love him. Can't get enough of him, and it just seems like every single year they find a way to stash him and keep him around. They really trust him. They love him in the locker room. That's defensive lineman / edge prospect. He plays all over the place. Alex Barrett. He wears jersey number 58, 6'2", 250. He can kind of do it all. 28 years old and entering into his 5th season. He's an Arizona guy from Desert Ridge High School, just out of Mesa, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix, just east of Phoenix. The Fighting Jaguars. He is a social science major, and man, as we go through this list, we started at 90, we're at 63 now, so quite a few prospects in. San Diego State, man, they love poaching players from that school. This is like number 7 or 8 players from San Diego State that they like them. Now, if you look at Alex Barrett, he's been around the league for a minute, but he's been with the 49ers for a long time. You go back to his high school days, lettered in track and field in high school. 2nd in the state of Arizona at shot put. He was a 2-time all-state selection in high school, team captain his senior year, first team all-district on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And he's the first San Diego State defensive lineman to win first team all-Mountain West honors, not once, but twice. The dude just had such a productive year, college career, high school career. And if you recognize anything, you probably know this name if you've watched any preseason games, because every single year he's one of by far the most productive defensive linemen, not just for the 49ers, but like in the preseason. He goes off. He produces. He might not have the metrics that you want, the size that you want. The dude just is successful. And so I think a big reason why the 49ers love him and keep him around, Alex Barrett, is because he's such a damn good football player and a good practicer. Now, maybe his ceiling isn't as high, but he's already very, very consistent. And they've relied on him a few times and gotten him into games. We'll talk about that in a second. But, man, he's a fun guy. Barely missed, being drafted just outside. He was one of those guys that kind of had a 6th, 7th round grade on him because of his height. 6'2", 250 makes him a tweener. You'd like some more height there. Now, if you look at his metrics, he tested very well. 40-yard dash, ran a 4.9. At 250 pounds, not bad. Bench press, 21 reps, not bad. 3-cone, 7.4, not bad, right? You're kind of getting a theme here. Vertical, 30, not bad. He's a below-average NFL athlete that's a jack-of-all-trades guy. He just does everything. He can play defensive tackle. He can play outside. He can play, speed edge, strong edge. He can kind of do a little bit of everything. He was picked up by Detroit, where he started his career. Chris Kusarek, right? Again, these guys, Chris Forrester, the O-line guy, Chris Kusarek, the D-line guy, they bring players with them that they fall in love with. And Alex Barrett fits that mold to a T. So he played in 2 games his rookie year, had 1 tackle. 2008 was back with Detroit, was on the practice squad, didn't get called up. Then when he came over and joined us, Kusarek, he brought him with him. So in 2019, Alex Barrett joined our practice squad. 2020, got called up and got active in 2 games, 1 tackle again. And then last year spent the entire year on the practice squad. And, he even spent a little bit of time with the Oakland Raiders, bouncing around whatever else. Signed on with the San Diego Fleet, the AAF, whatever that was around for a very short time, and then joined the 49ers immediately after. A very similar career path as Daniel Brunskill. These guys that were kind of cast-offs, didn't really land anything, but have found a way to stick around in the NFL because they've tied themselves to coaches, position coaches, and they're easy to trust because they're smart. They're, they work out, they do well, they're very consistent, they're not causing problems or anything like that. So he's appeared in 4 games in his career in 5 years, 0 starts, and only 2 tackles for his whole career. Now, why do I have him at pick 63? One, I think the quality of play gives him an opportunity to be active on an NFL roster. If we remove the fact that the 49ers are so loaded at the defensive line position, Alex Barrett belongs somewhere. 2, why would the 49ers keep this guy year after year after year after year instead of moving on to younger project players with perhaps more, upside? It's because they trust him and they like him. I don't think that they have an issue with inserting him into the lineup at all. But he has to have some help. Whether the 49ers trade a D lineman or two or an injury or two, it's going to take some time for him to get called up. But we have him number 63. Only 53 players get kept. I don't think he's going to make the initial roster. I just don't see it. But I guarantee you this. If somebody else doesn't pick him up, which I don't think they will, he's going to be all preseason team. And, whenever you get into the drags of the season, whenever you get week 8, 9, 10, those places, definitely could see Barrett getting some snaps if there's some injuries or anything going on. So I really like this guy. He's probably going to be a casualty to the depth that the 49ers have at the position. But again, the reason why they keep him around, they really, really like him. They really, really trust him. And I don't think that they have any qualms in bringing him up and making him active if that's what they need be. This is a Kusaric guy, and Kusaric has as much pull on this team as any position coach. So don't be shocked whenever Alex Barrett is still around next year when we do our 2023 countdown. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I want to say thank you to Josh and Anthony, this show's producers, the series producers, doing a heck of a job, and we're just going to keep counting them down.